Hi, all of you. Great coming back here. But, guys, before starting with our community call session, just one quick tech check like every time we have. If any of you, or like all of you, or most of you can type it off in AMA channel saying, yes, Aradhya, you are audible. I think we'll be confident enough to go ahead with the call so that we have a quick tech check with everyone connecting with us from different geographies. Okay, thank you so much. I just saw a couple of people texting, yes, you're audible. Great. Yes, so I think last week we didn't have this session. We had a good break. We thought we'll add more value from upcoming sessions, and hence we are back here again. Great connecting here. Every time we come back as a forum, we discuss ideas, we discuss tech developments, and we discuss what the future looks like for jump.trade especially. Yes, so we do have a special guest today. Before we get him in, I'll give you a quick introduction of who is the guest. Who again is a blockchain veteran, is what I would say. He is founder of India Blockchain Alliance, and he has been part of major developments, major projects in the blockchain space. He is very notable as a personality because he's been featured in prominent places like TechDex and etc., where he has gone spoken in the forums, spread knowledge on blockchain and its efficiency across multiple domains. Meet him, yes, would make a lot of justice, but here he is to talk more about how NFTs is going to rule the domain and how it is having a major social impact. He is here to talk to us on how NFTs are creating a social impact. Yeah. So before that, I think we'll have a quick opening remarks from. We have Raj Kapoor with us. Yes, Raj Kapoor. Any opening remarks for the session?
I'm happy to be here. First of all, NFTs is a subject. Blockchain is a subject is very close to my heart. NFTs is part of it, so equally close to my heart. Been in the blockchain space for now more than 12 years. So yes, and I'm still learning. I'm sure all of us are learning in our own ways. So am I. But it's a wonderful space, and NFTs are right at the ground floor right now. It's just one way up, right up from here onwards.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And yeah, yes. So talking about NFTs, yes, we are seeing the growth of NFTs exponentially. We've seen how in the blockchain space NFTs are growing so fast. But if you see NFTs being part of a person's everyday lifestyle, everyday's lifestyle, how do you see a person accessing NFTs on a day-to-day basis, and how do you see that growth happening? How does the road looks like?
Okay, I mean, see, yes, NFTs is going to have a major shift in the future. Right now, we have a lot of things happening which are not really NFTs. They're more of speculation, like all the big movements in the NFTs, like Bored Apes and CryptoKitties and CryptoPunks, etc. Those are okay, fine. I mean, there are different wallets moving money from one place to the other. That's all not really realistic. But NFTs have real-world use cases, and in the future, as we go further, a lot of digital art will remain original. I mean, good digital art will always remain, but a lot of fluff will fall off by the wayside. And you'll have real-world solutions, NFTs that actually address real-world solutions. That is going to be the next iteration. It's not going to be all the time just the digital art or the phygital art, as now we call it as well, or the phygital NFTs. That's going to be the future as well. You have to have a sort of a nice combination of digital as well as physical. And that's going to be the trend in the next few years. We've seen that happening. We saw it recently in real estate. We saw it happening in a lot of brands coming in with digital options. And they're actually solving a real world problem. But just the collectibles, I don't see that lasting very long. I'm sure some of us have got some collectibles. That's good. Sell it off now. It's not going to last very long. That's my opinion. Just like the crypto market, nobody believed me when I said it's going to fall. It's about 3 months back, I mentioned that it's fallen. It'll go back again. But NFTs will struggle, especially if they have no real world use cases or no applications. So yes, there's going to be an iteration. Real world solutions, yes, and social impact solutions, absolutely yes.
Perfect, perfect. Absolutely. Having said that, sir, how do you see NFTs creating a social impact? So, if you want to highlight three major social impacts that NFTs are actually creating and which is very much visible, and also how the future road looks like in the same case.
I think most of the, one of the best use cases of NFTs is to raise money for different causes. Now, I'll give you a simple example. Somebody has really done a good job. Just like you have your crypto punks, which is only collectibles, you had your crypto kitties collectibles and bored apes, etc. collectibles. Somebody came out with Blaze Cats. I don't know how many of you know Blaze Cats. Well, Blaze Cats is a series of cat NFTs with a variety of customization, etc. And these have been created, minted. I don't know how many of them,
Yeah.
maybe about a couple of thousand, but 25% of the proceeds go to Mental Health America. Every time a Blaze Cat is bought or sold, the royalties or 10% of the sale goes to the Mental Health America. Well, right now they've collected more than $300,000, which is a good thing because you're combining social impact with little collectibles. That is one I see really good. There's another one. Recently, we had this one in. I don't know how many of you know. McDonald's had one session with the fast food punks,
Mhm.
for basically 1,000 hand drawn fast food because they were inspired by the NFT punks and the charitable giving. The fast food punks were sold out, 26 of them, in which 570, about 500,000 plus was raised for McDonald's house charity, and that's a great thing which happened there as well. Then we have, and I think another one which I really like personally. We all know
Yes.
Sotheby's. Sotheby's also is a very famous auction house, and they have done something with with a great social impact for them. Is they're actually bringing in this NFTs and social impact closer together. That the confluence going on. They announced the auction of 140 plus NFTs to raise funds for an
Mm.
organization called Sostento, which is a frontline healthcare workers. And this came after COVID. And that is another social impact. So we have, of course, a lot of them which actually raise money. We have some of them which make other social impact. We have collectibles with that. Then we have great ones like Women and Weapons. They are different for again, they're collecting money for women. Digital art for social impact is there. That's for collecting money, which you collect charity for uneducated children. All these are coming in big. Then, of course, we have the Change DAO. They have a triple P NFT model in which every digital asset benefits multiple stakeholders. They align to the SDGs, basically, aligned to the people, planet, profit. That's called the triple P NFT. So each Change DAO NFT supports a worthy cause, and they are working very hard to minimize energy consumption, which is a big sore point in the NFT space. And also, they purchase carbon offsets to cover the energy used in minting their NFTs. So I think there are so many more. I can go on and on. But I think these are really cool, and they're making their way
Yes.
big time.
Okay, yes, sir. But also, what we have noticed, and not just me, our community, and the entire domain, is that with the rise of NFTs in Web3, of course, there is a lot of inclusiveness because they are creating a community together. They are developing a
Yes.
community. Building a community is something I think if a project holding one good community that actually drives the whole intention of becoming the successful project. So NFTs or say NFTs driven by the utilities or purely for collectible purpose, having a very good community is backing so hard that it ends up being a very great project. So what are
I
your views on that? Because completely that's one space where it is dominating the social arena, right? So it's having a
it
huge
does.
social impact that way too. Yes.
It is. In fact, it's good because it shines the torch on a fantastic technology, a fantastic option. Now, if you all look at it, if you just step back and see whether any blockchain, any NFT, anything in the Web3 is all based on communities. We all are part of a community in one way. There used to be different communities in about 20 years back. There used to be Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Asians, Africans, stuff like that. Today, if you have a Nike shoe and I have a Nike shoe, that's a community. We are part of a Nike community. Things have changed. We are tribal by nature, community we are community centric by nature. I think communities play a very, very vital and large role in any success or failure of any product, any person, anything. Blockchain is an expression of a community, and that's why it has become so popular. NFT is a self expression, it makes you express yourself, no one to stop you. You can express yourself without the fear of social norms, without community pressure, without peer pressure. It's your community which makes you inclusive. Large communities which have all these crypto entities, etc., all great because what they're doing is they're becoming the big beacon for people to see the actual values NFTs can actually bring, not just from a collectible perspective, but from many, many other real world cases as well. So I think communities are key. Whether it's a Discord community, whether it's anything, it's all, I think, it's the future. Community strategies are going to be the thing in the future again, and NFTs and the metaverse, everything, all need communities and big ones.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But I think so, we started the discussion of consider how NFTs can be considered as something that one should go for on everyday basis. And from completely your perspective, how have you seen the market growing? Yes, you have mentioned that earlier also, but in the market, again, this is a very fresh market. It's a very niche crowd who understand the whole technology behind it, be it for collectible purpose or for an investment purpose. There is a very say limited set of users who are available and who want to learn more about it and go ahead with the concept. But what do you say that what major things should happen in this roadmap of making NFTs accessible to everyone?
Right. I think it's a good question because NFTs, while they serve a fantastic purpose, have, I think, three major challenges which either nobody wants to address right now or they're feeling a little shy of addressing them or whatever. I say the one is a lack of awareness, as you said, yes. There is a complete lack of awareness. It's just a very small fraction of percentage of people who actually understand what is an NFT beyond a collectible. Why? Even my wife asked me, what the hell is an NFT? What are you going to do with a crypto kitty? Or what are you going to do with these crypto punks? What are you going to do with all these little names, domain names, etc.? But a lot of people don't even understand that. And that's the general idea. There's nothing wrong. We all didn't understand blockchain a few years back. But awareness creation is something which I think is to be driven at the grassroots level. The more the adoption, the more the success of blockchain NFTs and other things within this domain. We need to have almost everybody understand that. I would put it right into the textbooks in schools if I had a choice. I'm teaching this a lot in colleges. I speak at about more than 80 different universities and colleges across the globe, teaching them the various intricacies of NFTs. In fact, I've written a book on NFTs, which probably will be published sometime in September,
Wonderful,
I think.
wonderful. Looking
I'll be
forward.
happy to share it. Yeah, I'll be happy to share with you guys. That's for sure. And we've actually talked about what NFTs and what we're doing in the future with NFTs, not only from a social impact, but from a profit motive as well. For I always believe you need to have for benefit and then you have to have for profit. So while we have for profit, everything else, but for benefit, the social impact. The second thing I think is the computing power. That is an area which needs serious consideration. To gas fees, computing power, not really fun. It's it's a place where we are actually doing a lot of research right now on how to bring down gas fees. Actually, now it'll happen anyways with the new Ethereum and other blockchains coming up. But that's another thing which we should be conscious of because environment is, I mean, if you don't have an environment, you forget NFTs, you won't have nothing. I don't know how many of you know that in 12 years' time, if we don't really take cognizance of our environment, we are not going to be there because all our seas are getting massively polluted. As per the latest reports by multiple countries, we have our seas, our oceans will last only for the next 12 years. Well, there's a lot of NFTs, there are a lot of companies and social impact companies coming up to save the sea. It's not save the earth, it's save the sea. If you save the sea, you save the earth. And there's an environmental impact program called Sea.Earth, which I think we should really be a part of. It's free, but it also shows our social responsibility. I think all of us listening in here should look at that and read
Absolutely.
what's there. It's scary, but it's also very invigorating because you actually learn that, well, you have solutions. It's up to us, that's all. Do have a look at Sea.Earth. wonderful place, and they're doing great stuff. And they're partnering with many NFT platforms to actually not only raise awareness but also raise funds for saving our oceans. That's the second thing. And we have a
Absolutely.
biggest issue. Yeah, sorry. The biggest issue I think we have and face is compliance. There is no law around NFTs. There are lots of NFTs there, yes, but there are so many laws. You can be now. You're gonna if you're in India, you're gonna get taxed very soon on all your NFT profits. You're also going to have a lot of issues if you cannot prove provenance. You're going to have issues because there are cross-border transactions. These are not exactly something which we really bargained for because it's not there. They should have frameworks we don't have. To summarize very clearly, challenges we have three. We have lack of awareness, overuse of computing power and making a hole in the environment, and compliance issues. I don't want to scare with people with compliance issues too much, but we had a debate yesterday with the government, and there's going to be serious, implications in the NFT space as well over the next few months. They're not very happy with the way NFTs are moving. They also look at NFTs as a way of people channelizing their monies from A to B and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of compliance going to come around NFTs.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, on that. However, definitely the next question is the last question for us, considering the time constraint. And again, we understand your schedule attached to it.
Yeah.
Definitely not the least, but a very important question. How do you see NFTs transforming the businesses? Again, you are a person who have been in the blockchain business for so many years now. So, how do you see these creating or transforming businesses in general? Are also very specific to the Web3 domain.
Yeah, well, the first is the low entry barriers, the low entry sort of a low hanging fruit, I would say, are blockchain credentialing, for example. That's going to be what a lot of people call, soul SBTs or soul bound tokens, because these are like university degrees. They are like your birth certificate, your death certificate. These are going to be unique only to you. Similarly, for businesses, it's going to help in patented products, IP protection, copyrights. These are the early adopters already happening. We are doing some work with the police department and for forensic labs, giving that certification in that space. That's an NFT. That's a unique only for that particular person or issue. So this is going to be there. Then there's going to be asset tracking. All the assets of an organization would be on the or would become an NFT. All even the assets in terms of paintings. There is an office, for example, I'm working with in Bombay, and they are creating their entire walls as an NFT with very unique paintings. Well, that's really enterprise level. Yeah, and we're also going to have human NFTs where every human being is going to be an NFT. It's a very unique concept. Maybe some other time I can give you a whole lowdown on that. Some of you may know about it, but human NFTs, that is going to be like professionals are going to become human NFTs. And that's going to be the future, not too far from now. Much more. But yeah, these are some early adopters going to be there. The credentialing, licensing, that's going to be there. We are putting up in Botswana, for example. I'm doing work with the government on putting all their driving licenses on that, because again, those are unique in their own nature. So that's going to be the one. Domain names are going to come in now. NextBlock is a great company. There's a company called NextBlock, and they are offering very unique domain names on Web3, interoperable with domain names. That's the best part. That's where a lot of corporates and Web3 is going to be moving. Have a look at NextBlock also, guys. It's great. And also, yes, I'm happy if there are enough people. We in fact have our own, for example, I'm doing myself. We have India Blockchain Alliance, for example, is a think tank. We have many members, and each of our members have a very unique domain name. For example, it could be jump.trade. So we were doing that now. We have got more than 1,000 people with a .iba domain name as well. So that's another great thing at the corporate enterprise level.
Perfect. Thank you so much on that, sir. Because we understand how tight your schedule and the structure of the call also is in the same way. And again, thank you once again for connecting with us. Any closing remarks, Mr. Raj Kapoor?
Oh, first of all, thank you for calling me Raj Kapoor. He's more famous than Raj Kumar, so I'm more happy with that. Right?
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's a complete pure apologies on that, but it's a
no,
complete
no, no. I
misinterpretation.
understand. You're not the first person. Don't worry. You're not the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
person.
sure.
It happens.
Thank you
It
so much.
happens.
But again, Raj Kapoor is so famous, and so are you. So I don't think we'll ever, I will ever misspell your name
No, no,
anywhere,
no.
given on any forum. Yeah.
No, no. What also you can do is any of you guys want to help. I'm happy to help you take your NFTs to whatever levels you want. I know completely where I need to position you. You can come reach out to me anytime. If you have any help in putting, I have some good ideas. You want funding? I'm happy to help you in all these spaces. You want to plug and play with you existing NFTs? Yes. If you have some unique ideas, come to me. I'll make sure that you get monetized. It's a beautiful space, but come up with really unique ideas. I'm happy to help anybody in the community.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time. And yes, looking forward for more such sessions with you. Our community is all pumped up. They'll all put in their queries in the discussion, and as well,
Sure.
we have a dedicated channel, text AMA channel. So yes, since you're also an active part of the community, you can always come communicate with them, answer them, and yeah,
Yeah,
we can have this bond going forward ahead. Yeah, thank you
perfect.
so much.
Right, right. Thank you so much, and bye bye. Have a lovely evening.
Yes, guys. So it was great. We had Mr. Raj Kapoor on the panel. We also are moving forward for the other session planned for this evening. If you all remember, we launched white paper very recently, and yes, we do have another panel joining us to discuss about white paper and give all of its details that's required for you to understand the game, for people to feel more confident, get more information attached to Meta Cricket League. Again, since we're creating history together, it's very important for all of you to be equally aware of what white paper is and what it looks like, and what are the mechanisms and the idea behind it. So we have crypto magician joining us. Let me just quickly, yeah. Hi. Yes, Pratik, can you hear us? Hi. So yeah, so I think crypto
Let's call me
magician
Pratik.
or
That's easier
mathematician
too.
or Pratik needs no introduction at all. He's truly traveled with us in multiple community calls now, and today he is a guest on the panel, who will talk about, give details on white paper and how he feels about it, especially, and how the domain looks at the white paper released by jump.trade team. Yes, Pratik, thanks for joining us today. How do you feel like to start with? What are your opening remarks?
Hi, Aradhya. So, by the way, like a couple of weeks ago, when we had a call with Kamesh, I think the entire community has become a huge fan of Kamesh. So we need to get him on more such calls, probably at least once a month. So community also feels very excited about having Kamesh on the board. That being said, I went through the entire white paper in detail. I must say one thing, guys. Like I've seen a lot of white papers, close to 200 white papers in my career, reviewed a lot of gaming white papers as well. So one thing I'd like to say is the simplicity with which the white paper has been written is phenomenal. It's so easy to understand, and like all the details about the game, about the NFTs, about how to proceed in the game. So they have been outlined in quite a clear and easy fashion, and very good job with respect to that, because I understand it's so difficult to convert something which is so technical into an easy format, so that even someone with very less knowledge about the space can understand. And yeah, I feel very confident that I should be able to answer questions related to the white paper, whichever the community has. So Aradhya, while you ask me questions, so even the community, I can request that if you have any questions with respect to the game, to the white paper, to
Mhm.
jump.trade, to MCL, so just push it in the AMA channels, and I'll be
Yeah.
happy to take them.
Absolutely. So, yes, Pratik, like how you rightly pointed out, if Aradhya, if you are taking up questions or even community wants to answer that, so I think as a team we have grown together as a community as well. So Aradhya also is a slight representation of what community is all about. Yeah. So, Pratik, to start with, why is white paper important? You just tell me for a very
Sure.
from a very user point of view, or for a very layman, why do I have to read white paper? Because it's going to be a game that's again a web game where I will go, I will explore, I will understand. But why do you think white paper is so much important that I should read about it?
Sure, sure. So I would like to give an analogy. Like for instance, let's say you have ordered some device. Let's say you've ordered a PS5 and you're using it for the first time, or you've ordered some electronic device that you're using for the first time. So you will always get a manual that comes along with it. So think of white paper as a manual for you to explore all the features of the game. Of course, you can play the game without the white paper as well, but then you'll not be able to understand and comprehend the game in whole, and what all features are unlocked by doing what activities, what is the value of the NFTs, what are the values of bats in the game, how do you proceed in the game, what are levels. So all of these details, all of these nitty-gritties, one will be able to totally comprehend using the white paper, not just for MCL, but for any other game that is there in the market, or any other product or project that is there in the market. It always comes with a manual. So think of white paper as the manual for all blockchain related projects. So it's very important to have a white paper for any project so that the community understands each and every single feature of that particular project. So think of it as a gospel or Bible for understanding everything that is related to the project.
Absolutely. So that's the right word. So if there is anything that you want to know about the game, you should be reading the white paper. So like how you rightly pointed out, it has to be not less than a Bible for you to enter the MCL and conquer over it. So yeah, I think yes. So all of us are already on point with the white paper, and I think I'll go revise it once again because
Sure.
now that you've made clear why it is so important, I think the entire community will go and find out how the mechanism works and how they can expect the MCL to be like. Yes.
Absolutely. So one thing for the community I'd recommend is like the ones who have mastered the white paper. So they'll be the ones who'll be able to proceed quickly in the game because they understand what kind of strategy to use, what kind of NFTs combination to create, how to proceed in the game. And the ones who understand, like if the white paper is in the back of your mind, like you wake up anytime and you know all the features of the white paper, you'll be easily able to keep on proceeding ahead in the game using the right kind of strategies. So it's a must read, I'd recommend. So having the right skill set plus a deep dive knowledge of the white paper, you'll be able to proceed ahead in the game very fast.
Wonderful. That's great. Thank you so much, Pratik, on that
Sure.
definition, that highlight. However, we see there are so many points in white papers, right? So
Mhm.
points. I'm talking about the points that we where we highlight earnings, where we highlight leaderboard, and all this. So what is this primary difference between the leaderboard points and the jump date points? Because
Okay.
I'm not saying it's confusing, but I think that's something that we need to be more vocal about. Of the what is the primary reason for leaderboard points to exist, and what are the primary reasons that jump trade points exist? So how are they different from each other, and what benefit does it bring to our players and our users?
Sure. I'm sure most of the community members also have this question. So even I, when I was reading the white paper, I stampered upon it and I felt like, what is the significance of both of these? And then while reading the white paper thoroughly, so I was able to clearly distinguish between what are leaderboard points and what are jump trade points. So I'd like to make this clear to the community as well through the call. So when it comes to leaderboard points, so basically whenever, let's say you're playing a match and then you score a run, then maybe you hit a 4, maybe you hit a 6, you get out in the match, you win the match. So whenever you are scoring runs in the match, every single run will be associated with a leaderboard point. Every boundary that you hit will be associated with leaderboard points. Every wicket that you take, you'll get some leaderboard points. Every match you win, you'll get some leaderboard points. So basically, every single run that you get will account to some or the other leaderboard points, which is also mentioned in the white paper. Like after scoring a 4, how many leaderboard points you get? After scoring 6, how many leaderboard points you get? After taking a wicket, how many leaderboard points you get? So at the end of the match, you'll be getting some leaderboard points. Okay. So let's say in a day after one match, I have scored. Let's take an average that I have scored around 30 leaderboard points. Then let's say I play 10 matches. So after playing those 10 matches in a day, I am getting my total as 300 leaderboard points. So that is what the meaning of leaderboard points is. Now let's go to the jump trade points. So leaderboard points and jump trade points, are associated with each other, but they're also different from each other. So I'll tell you how. So let's say I've scored 300 points. Now there are 50 or 100 people who are playing a game during that whole day. So when they score leaderboard points, let's say my score will be 300, Aradhya, your leaderboard points might be 350. Someone else's leaderboard points might be 500, 700, 800, so on and so forth. So based on the leaderboard points, you'll be getting rankings on your leaderboard. So the one with the highest leaderboard points on that day will be getting the first ranking. The second highest will be getting second ranking, and so on and so forth. So it will be placed in a descending order with the highest leaderboard ranking as rank one and the lowest leaderboard ranking as the last rank. Now that is going to be your leaderboard. Now every day, X percentage of the leaderboard will be given jump trade points. So let's say top 60% of the leaderboard rankings. So let's say there are 100 people who have played a match. So 60 of the top 60 players in the leaderboard, they will be getting jump trade points, and the bottom 40 will not be getting the jump trade points. So that is a major difference between leaderboard points and jump trade points. Now, if you talk about the difference, this is the difference. And if you ask me, then what is the significance of jump trade points? So think of jump trade points directly as money, as USD or as INR, because every jump trade points corresponds to some amount of rupee or some amount of USD. For now, it is linked to US dollars. So 10,000 jump trade points when you get, that will be equivalent to $1. So when you earn 10,000 jump trade points, you'll be able to get $1. If you get 10,000 leaderboard points, that doesn't mean you'll be getting $1, but 10,000 jump trade points will be equivalent to $1. So that calculation is also given in the table, in the jump trade points table. So jump trade points, think of it as the money that you're earning by playing the game, and leaderboard points is just your way of earning that money. And also jump trade points have a lot of significance. Like you can do a lot of things with it. You can directly withdraw it for INR in your bank account, or you can upgrade your NFTs with it. You can purchase NFTs with it. You can purchase bats with it. You can do a lot of things with JT points. So think of it as your in-game currency, as well as if you want to withdraw it to fiat, you can withdraw that as well.
Okay, perfect. So that's exactly, I think, the clarity required for the community to understand the primary difference between leaderboard points and the JD points. Again, both hold their prominence in the game as well in the marketplace. Yes. So, Pratik, one question, one simple yet one funny question. I see Hinsenberg says today he's going to crack the jump.trade, the MCL white paper. So, what are the tips that he should follow? If you can just highlight one or two or say more.
Oh, sure. Sure. There are going to be a lot of tricks. I am personally going to play the game, and I'll be having my own strategy. Everyone can have their own strategies, and y'all can post also about. So the way Steppen did, right? Like all the players over there, so they played the games and then they posted their own strategy on YouTube or on their own Telegram channels, and slowly they started getting so famous that they had hundreds and thousands of subscribers, and they started becoming celebrities, and slowly through Step-In, they started reviewing other game projects as well. So this is another excellent platform because the way jump trade is picking up in the whole of India. So if you identify these strategies early, just do simple things like post about it on your YouTube channel, on your Twitter, on your Telegram, so that people start following your strategies, following you, and then you get a bigger follow up and you sort of start becoming celebrities in that space. So that is one thing. And if you talk about me, what are the things that you should look after? I think one of the key differentiating factors between players will be the combination of NFTs that they'll be using to play the game. So you need to look at all the different types of NFTs that are there, like the rookie, epic, meta, and the legendary NFTs. And then you need to hold a combination of certain NFTs so that you become really like every single run, every single ball that you're playing in the game. So it has the maximum effect, and that will lead to more and more number of runs scored, which will eventually lead to you topping the leaderboard and getting JT points. That is one thing, like selecting the right kind of players. Second thing is the NFTs that you're holding. So they have a range from level 1 to level 15. So you need to ensure that whenever you're getting some sort of upgrades, you're using those upgrade cards to increase the levels of your NFTs and make sure that your NFTs are all at level 15. If that happens, so then you will have a competitive edge over other players who are having a lower level in your NFTs. Then the bats in the game also have some significance. So you can upgrade to better bats whenever you have some amount in your wallet. If you have earned some JT, use that to purchase better bats so that you score more, and the more you score, the more runs you'll be getting, the more leaderboard points you'll be getting, and the more JT points you'll be getting. So think of it as if you're depositing uh, 10,000 rupees in a bank, you're going to get an interest of around maybe 500 rupees. With that 500, if you again add it to the 10,000 rupees, the interest that you're going to get is going to be higher. So whatever amount of JT points that you earn, make sure that you upgrade your NFTs, buy MCL badge, buy some more players so that you eventually start scoring, earning more JT points, and you can keep on rewarding your selves by the JT points, investing, reinvesting. Think of it as an investing cycle and keep on earning more and more amount. So that these are some kind of strategies that all the community members can start using.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's something that we all need clarity about. Yes, Pratik. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So, Pratik, I know a quick introduction for my other members on the panel. We do have gardening gamers. Yes, if the gamers can unmute themselves and quickly say hi to the community.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Hi. So yeah, again, to the community, like how we have Pratik on the panel, we also have our gamers who are key members in the making of MCL and white paper attached to it. So they are here as well to give you key points of what is coming. So Pratik is definitely highlighting about the white paper, its economics, and the forthcomings. But our gamer bunch is here to give you insights on the beta version launch, which we call it the closed community test run. Yeah, that's what we call it, the closed community test run. And we're here to discuss about that. Yes, my fellow gamers, give me and my community a few insights on how do you see beta test run happening and when is it happening?
So you guys might have gotten the announcement, like just an hour ago. And as you know, like we're going ahead with the first initial beta closed test on, the coming Wednesday, which is 13th of July. And the event's going to be happening like for a 2 hour period only. It's going to be between 6 to 8. And for that, earlier we had mentioned that, like we're going to be picking out, like a few members from the community. And I think the number was around 100 to 150 users. And there was also like a Google form that we had circulated earlier. And so what happened there is like we're going to randomly pick, like some users from there. We're going to like probably run some random function on Excel and pick, like the top 100, 150 users. And the way the users will get to know, like how they're selected is they're probably going to get a notification on their jump.trade marketplace account. And once you follow that notification, you're going to get the download link in your account for that particular the APK file for the game. We are still in the process of also listing the game on Play Store, but for now we're going to give the APK file for the users to play in the meantime for the closed beta. And what they can do do from here is like where they can download the game and like get ready probably like 1 hour. Ideally, as soon as you get the build, you can download it and then install and get ready. Ideally 1 hour before the tournament. And so that's like the run up to the event. Now, what happens? In the event, I see a lot of people asking, will we earn from the beta test? And
Yes.
definitely we are putting together a prize pool for the beta test. So the users who are going to participate in this, they are going to be getting, part of the prize amount. Like you guys should get together for the next week because we are going to be putting out, like a few more details about the event. And, like we're also going to finalize the list of people who are going to be participating in this. And if the other question was if the game is going to be releasing in July, yes, definitely we are planning, working actually very hard to make this possible. And we're going to be definitely try to release it in this month. And what are my chances of getting into the beta test? If you guys have filled up that Google form, definitely we got a lot of responses for it, but you just have to pray for the random RNG gods to pick you up. Did Google accept MCL APK and Play Store? Yeah, definitely. So we are working on this, but for now we're going to be giving the APK file for the closed beta. Yeah. Apart from this, so what is planned for the beta? As I mentioned before, it's going to be a 2-hour tournament. It's going to be between 6 to 8 p.m. and it's going to be happening on this coming Wednesday, 13th July. What kind of, once you come there, it's going to be like a PvP mode, so player versus player. For that, you need to set up your team first, and you might have already referred to the white paper earlier, which is I need to have at least one batsman and one bowler to begin playing, and as you play matches, the users who participate in the beta, they're also going to be getting, on winning each match, they're going to be getting leaderboard points, they're going to be getting kit boxes, and also that particular MMR for that particular leaderboard, they're going to be getting some, plus 20 MMR, and also some progression towards the account level. Now, for the people who lose the tournament as well, meaning that particular match as well, there's something for them. They're still going to be getting leaderboard points, which is like from every run, every 4, every 6, and every wicket they take. They're still going to be making points from that. That'll be going towards a leaderboard. And unfortunately, you're going to be getting negative MMR, but that is taken, only for your matchmaking, and you're also still going to be getting the progression towards your account level. And at the end of the 2 hours, as you keep playing matches and you keep collecting leaderboard points, at the end of 8 p.m. on Wednesday, the users who collect the most number of points, we're going to be taking the top percentage of users towards the prize amount distribution. We'll be revealing details about the prize money soon in the coming week, and you guys can so then the winners who do get that amount, the JD points, they can go ahead and either they can, if you have collected those upgrades for your MCL player from the kit boxes, you can go ahead and level up your player using the JD points. If not, you can also go ahead, convert those JD points to USD, and then you can withdraw them as well. So yeah.
Perfect. Oh wow, wonderful, wonderful, Mr. Gamer. Yeah, that was quite a wide insight on how and what the community can expect out of beta version, and what is the process behind filtering people who will be accessing the beta version of MCL. Yes. Going back to Pratik, the crypto mathematician in the panel, Pratik, if we'll have to ask you, how much can I earn from MCL?
Okay, I think that is a very, very famous question. I'm seeing a lot of questions wherein you are saying, what is X? What is the value of X?
Exactly,
how do I earn per day? So let me clarify one thing. So first thing is, in the beta version, we will reward the players who are testing the beta as well. Of course, not as much as we'll be rewarding at the time of the actual game launch. But in the beta version, of course, you'll be getting rewards whenever you're in the top X% of the leaderboard. Now you're asking me, what is X? What does X stand for? Now, this will depend from tournament to tournament. So there'll be different types of tournaments every day. So let's say in one of the tournament, we decide that, top 60% of the players will get rewards. In the next tournament, we'll decide top 70% will get the reward. In another tournament, we can decide top 100 players by default will get some rewards. So based on that number will keep on changing daily, and we'll inform about that number before the match is going to be played. So basically every day, different number of people will be able to get that data. The reason why we are doing this is, you need to understand this, guys, that the team does not have a data of how many players are going to play on a daily. We cannot say now that we'll be rewarding just top 100 people, because it might happen that 10,000 people come, or it might happen that just 50 people come to play the match. So after we read this data, we'll keep on keeping it dynamic. But don't worry, more than 50% of the players who are going to play the match are going to get rewarded. Sometimes we'll keep the reward amount very high and just select top 30, top 40 players so that they get a very high amount. Sometimes it will be majority of the players getting some small amount. So it'll keep on varying on a day by day basis till we figure out the average number of players who are playing every day. And once that data has been accumulated, then we can freeze a number that every day X percentage, that X value will be declared to the community. But for now, we're going to keep it dynamic, and this is what the X is going to stand for.
Beautiful. Thank you on that.
Yeah.
Yes, Pratik. And also, Pratik, with respect to the game, I know in our previous conversation you have already mentioned how we'll have different NFTs and how they'll level up with the progressive game flow. But if you can highlight the significance of signed bats in the game.
Sure. So
Because
bats
I
have a
think that's
very
still a matter of debate, or it's subject to debate, that people are still getting confused with why should I own a bat when the primary reason to enter, primary eligibility to enter the game itself is to have one bowler and one batsman at least.
yeah.
But again, I think you do justice of highlighting why is bat important and why it is even more important for them to own it and enter the game.
Absolutely. So owning a bat, apart from having a visual, appearance, it has three important significances. One is some of the bats have a 2x power up. So what a 2x power up means is if you're owning, a double immortal, some three of the bats, three of the types of the bats, so then you'll get a 2x power up boost. What it means is like you'll be able to use that 2x power up before the ball is being bowled. So if you have selected a 2x power up and let's say you have hit a 4, so you'll be getting 8 runs instead of 4 runs. So the some bats come with a 2x power up. So that is one significance. Second significance is whenever you get out in the match, 5 runs are deducted from your total score. So let's say you've scored 40 and two of your batsmen have got out. So your total score will be 40 minus 5, which is 30. Now some bats come with certain advantages that if you get out instead of -5, we'll be deducting -4 or -3 or -2 or -1 or 0. So you can look at the bats chart and their significance. So holding these bats will lead to higher score, and of course, if you have a higher score, you have a higher chances of winning. And the third is the angle deviation, which is more related to the skill of the player. So having a lower angle deviation means you'll be able to hit the ball accurately rather than having a higher angle deviation where there is a chance that you might hit the edge and get caught out. So bats hold the significance. Of course, every single NFT that will be there in this game holds a lot of significance to it.
Absolutely. So yeah, so all of you in the community, I still see that there are many questions which subjected to earning, but yes, like how Pratik just mentioned, there is not going to be a specific number. Earnings are definitely subjected to the number of tournaments and how the tournaments is being played and all of that. There is going to be major unfold of several factors in the game, and once you enter it, you will get hooked by the experience that you will achieve, and hence you can calculate your own earnings once being part of it. Yes, Pratik.
And also, like the audience should not just focus on earning. Like last time, Kamish also had mentioned. So think of it as a way. There are multiple things that you can, even if you're not earning something, but you are simply playing the game and educating the audience on how to earn. So there is a chance of you getting a very high followership on all social media. We have seen this happen with major games like Star Atlas, Step In, Sidus Heroes, then Sandbox or many of these games. So we have seen specific influencers for those games who later on ventured into multiple platforms. So that is one way. Second is the addictive factor of the game is very high. So when you're just bored after a full day of work, you can simply open the phone, play the game, and relax for a couple of hours. That's another thing that I saw someone asking, if the testing is just for 6 to 8 p.m. in India, then what happens for people who are outside? So this problem will always happen if we keep some other time based on a separate country, then people in India will not be able to play. So the reason why we selected 6 to 8 p.m. for testing is since majority of our crowd as per the database is from India, so we have to do that. Like we cannot have a common time, unfortunately, since we stay in a globalized world. So we have to select 6 to 8 p.m. and the game when the actual game launches. So that time the restrictions of time will not be just 6 to 8. So there'll be different slots where users can play. So
absolutely. Yes, Pratik. One question, again, last but definitely not the least. We understand the time constraint. We're already nearing the end of the session. So, how can one be? I know we've also mentioned this in white paper, and I need more clarity. My community needs more clarity. How can one be sustainable in the game? You can give purely your views through and being an expertise in the firm in the crypto space and now in the Web3 domain overall, and having seen more than 200 plus white paper and Also JD's white paper. Yeah. So how do you see the mechanism, the economics mentioned in the white paper, plus your practical knowledge also amalgamated with that? So how can you tell me and my community to be highly sustainable in the game? So what should we do? Yeah.
Sure, sure. So if we talk about the project itself, so there are two ways. One is the sustainability of the game, and second is sustainability of the players. So we need to understand two things. Like the community also needs to. Everybody is talking about earning, so the community also needs to understand that there are never free lunches in this world, right? You need to work in order to earn. So that's how it is in the blockchain game. It is you need to play in order to earn. So of course, you need to dedicate some time, play the game, get some expertise in the game, and when the more expert you are, the more time that you spend in the game, so the higher you'll be able to earn. So in terms of sustainability in the game, so it's not going to be just that every minute I'm spending in the game I'm getting some amount. Don't think of it that way. You have to be skilled, you have to have a good strategy, you need to hold the right combination of NFTs, you need to play in a certain way, level up your NFTs. There are a lot of strategies that you need to use in order for you to continuously keep on earning in the game. And once you have acquired all those skill set, all those combinations, so the amount that you'll be earning will be good enough for you to focus dedicatedly on earning. So that's one thing. And when it comes to the game sustainability, so I think that it has been very strategically and very beautifully designed, so that there is never too much inflation of currency, and there's not too much of burn, and it is managed very beautifully. That whenever JT points are earned, so users can use it for multiple things inside the game for in-app purchases. So the some people were asking if it is directly related to Axie Infinity. So we saw certain games where the entire focus of the project was on making sure that all the people who are coming in the game are earning. So they did earn in the beginning, but eventually the game totally collapsed and crashed, and we definitely don't want that to happen. So the way it has been designed, it is very sustainable. It looks like a game that is going to run for a very very long time. And the inflation and deflation of JT in the game, that is very strategically and mathematically designed. So hats off to the research team who has designed it very beautifully. So I've seen a lot of white papers. Very few of them managed to have a good earn and burn rate for the in-game rewards, which has been achieved by the MCL team and the jump trade team. So that's a very positive side, is what I'd say. I guess people who have not read a lot of white papers or played a lot of blockchain games, they will be just focused on earnings, earnings, earnings. But they need to realize that if that is the only motto, then eventually it leads to the collapse of the entire ecosystem. It could be anything. So it has to be hand in hand, which has been very fantastically and beautifully achieved by the MCL team. This I'm saying from a very third party view,
Absolutely.
reading the white paper and reading at the sustainability model of it.
Beautiful. Yes, Prateek. Thank you so much on that. So before taking last notes from Prateek, I would love to go back to our gamer bunch. Guys, if you have to give one or two tips to the community of how they should be prepared for the beta version, and how can they just conquer it all. So what is your, those two, three guides that you want them to be aware of, and once they have the access to the APK link at 5 p.m. Wednesday, 13th of July, what will they be doing? So just give me two, three, quick synopsis kind of a points where they are very conscious and they just are bang on when we launch the beta version.
So, I would suggest that, people keep their team ready. They have at least, one batsman and one bowler ready, because without that, you cannot go ahead and play in the tournament. And when the tournament does go live, you can try to, just, I would say, time your shots, take your time to understand one or two matches and then go ahead, play the remaining. And try to collect a lot of leaderboard points, because that's what's going to matter. And also make sure that you have all the other basic thing, which is you have a very good internet connection. And yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much on that. Yes, Prateek. Before we end the session, any closing remarks from your end?
Yeah, I see some guys asking about minimum day INR earnings, and some guys asking about the exact earnings. I think we've already explained this. Uh,
Exactly.
I don't know what else to say. Like, guys, it will depend on the tournament. It will depend on the number of players. If there are less number of players, the earnings will be higher. If there are more number of players, the earnings will comparatively be lower. So there'll be fixed price pool for different tournaments, which we will reveal at the time of the game launch. So just stay tuned for it. We have to gather data. We cannot give any random number right now that every person will get 100 rupees or 1,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees per day. We just cannot give that. You need to understand that once the game starts, it depends on the number of players. So depend on how many number of players. If just one player is coming to play the game, and the prize pool is, let's say, 1 lakh, just giving random numbers, so that only one person is going to get 1 lakh. So I cannot give a minimum number right now. That is important for you to understand. So that's one thing. And second thing about when the game goes live. So I think the team has mentioned that on Wednesday the beta version that for testing is going to go live. Now after that, so generally the way all the games, all the products works, you need to maybe understand that. So the way it works is like when the beta testing version goes live, so we will, like, I think around 300 400 members have already filled up the form, or more than that, I'm not sure. So we'll be selecting random members from this group. Now we'll analyze how these guys are playing the game, if they are facing any issues. So we'll collect this feedback from the community itself. If community is finding some features too tough, some features too easy, if we are seeing any bugs, and if there are no such major issues, so then the game will go live very soon. But if there are some issues, there are some bugs that need to be resolved. So first we'll identify those bugs, and we'll fix those bugs, test them out again, and then we'll roll out the playable version of the game. So it depends on how
I would
the
like to
beta
add
version goes
that.
live.
I would also like
Yeah.
to add that, like we
Yes.
also have a bug bounty program. So, like the participants over here, they can identify, like very peculiar and interesting bugs, and, like always report them. We have a bounty program for it. So we are waiting to see interesting things there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that we've clearly put it in our announcement as well. So,
And I
guys,
think another question that like people are having is, can we control bowling in like this phase? And I would say not yet, because we're still working on it. In the initial beta, like the bowling control won't be there, but like we are getting there. And also, like the other question is, everyone's asking about like the stadium launch. So like we are still planning for it, and like the first focus is to get the game out, and like that's our initial focus first, because like without the game, like we then will focus on the stadiums. But it is being planned.
yeah, absolutely. Yes. So, yeah, Gamer himself has said it. So, yeah. So,
And
yes.
someone's asking, what is NFT real estate? That's basically the stadium, because anyways, a stadium is a real estate in itself. So yeah, so when someone's asking what is the NFT real estate, we're referring to the stadium.
Absolutely. Yes, guys. So I think gamers have done justice to all your queries, and so has Prateek. Before ending the session, thank you so much, both of you, for being here on the panel. Looking forward for more such sessions. And yeah, all the best to all the community members. Please be aware, please be conscious. Go check your login on Wednesday, 13th of July, 5 p.m. IST, so that you get updated on are you playing the beta version. Yeah, so yes, go ahead, watch out, be active in the community here, be it whatever, keep tagging all of us, all the moderators. We are always here to take up the questions and answer the queries. And yes, looking forward for another session. And I think Prateek is almost part of the team right now, so he is here to give more insights on what the white paper is and how the game looks like. We'll keep catching up with him in the upcoming sessions as well. Thank you so much, Gardening Gamers, for joining the panel, and looking forward for more such sessions. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. As always,
Thank you.
cheers, team, jump.trade, and Gardening.